Some are pointing to where's the evidence? Is there evidence? And in some say that tweet right there is evidence that there's a lot of hedging from the former Obama administration employees, which makes it look like something happened, something was ordered, or something was conducted at Trump Tower.
Well, that's possible. It could also be that Jon Favreau, who is a very clever guy and has a sense of humor, might just be trolling the Trump people and saying, well, maybe it did happen. I wouldn't read too much into Jon Favreau and what he said there. Look, the president made an explosive charge. He says that former President Obama wiretapped him and compares it to Nixon and Watergate and McCarthyism. And the White House has so far failed to come up with any evidence for that charge. So really the obligation is on them to prove it happened, not on the Obama White House to prove it didn't happen.
Chris, why do you think that is? Because he made this huge statement, as you said, on Twitter yesterday morning during our show, and leaving us all to try to figure out what's going on here. We have not heard from the White House, as you said, since his tweet yesterday morning. You understand the inner workings of the West Wing and how they might be able to maneuver something like this. What do you think is going on, and why do you think we haven't heard yet?
Well, you got to figure, I mean, they knew we were all going to be talking about it today, that if they had hard evidence, that they would have put it out. I mean, that just seems to be logical. I mean, there are a couple of issues here. One is that if there was that kind of a wiretap, it actually would be classified, and it would be, if not illegal, because the president can declassify, highly unusual for him, even if it was a wiretap of him, to release information about a classified wiretap. I mean, it would be part of an investigation, and in a sense, by revealing it, he would be interfering with that investigation. There is another possibility that we all have to consider, and that is that the president has no evidence, that he just went off on this, that he had heard about it from various sources and went off on it. And we do know that he was very upset about the fact that he'd had a very good week, he had had a successful speech, he was pushing his agenda, and that all of that then got waylaid by the information, the disclosure of Jeff Sessions, and the fact that he hadn't told the Judiciary Committee about his relationship. So the possibility that he just, it was a fit of temper is out there.
Who do you have on today to chew over all this?
We're going to be talking the Senate Intelligence Committee. We're going to be talking to Tom Cotton and ask him what evidence he's seen. If anybody has, he will have. We'll also talk to Chris Coons, who, interestingly enough, talks about FBI transcripts. We'll ask him about that.
All right. Chris Wallace, no one better to break all of this down with insights. We appreciate it.
Yeah, after my election, I have more flexibility. I understand. I transmit this information to Vladimir.
I will have more flexibility, he said in 2012, after my re-election.
Flexibility for what?
To work with Vladimir.
So he thought his mic was off in that moment. So that was
they didn't realize it.
a real telling moment there, that exchange.
So that's why President Trump is saying, wait a second, he's being accused of being too close to Moscow, while he hasn't done anything yet as president to suggest that. Meanwhile, President Obama, right there on tape, was saying, I want to work with Vladimir. I'll have more flexibility to cut deals with him.
Made these accusations against former President Barack Obama that he had allegedly wiretapped his campaign headquarters, Trump Tower, during the election. For the very first time since he made those accusations, we are finally getting a response from the White House, and it is from White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer. He posted it on Twitter just about 10 minutes ago, and here they are. It's a series of 4 tweets, and the first one is reports concerning potentially politically motivated investigations immediately ahead of the 2016 election are very troubling. President Trump is requesting that as part of their investigation into Russian activity, the Congressional Intelligence Committees exercise their oversight authority to determine whether executive branch investigative powers were abused in 2016. Neither the White House nor the president will comment further until such oversight is conducted. So this is coming out just minutes before the White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders is expected to be speaking on another Sunday show. And given that statement that the White House nor the president will comment further until this investigation is conducted, we likely won't be getting any more information from her or the White House today. And so President Trump's critics are going to come out and say, hey, you make a claim like this, that your predecessor potentially broke the law by ordering the wiretapping of your campaign headquarters, they're going to say if you put out a claim that big, a claim that bold, that you're going to need to offer some hard proof and some hard evidence to back it up. But the White House is going to stand by its claim, it appears, that these allegations took place and that they took place right before the election. So this is now the White House really handing the ball over to these congressional intelligence committees, and we'll see what they say. But this is our first official response from the White House, and it comes just a little over 24 hours after that very first tweet that set this all off. Abby,
thank you, Kristen. The plot thickens.
That's right. The first
it continues to thicken.